This is my fourth trip to CES, and CES 2016 was an exceptionally fun year where I got to meet a ton of other YouTubers. There were a ton of people and I literally got 4 hours of sleep every day, but I could feel the energy of the best tech of 2016. So let me give you my top 10 list of CES 2016. First up, I got to see close up with the world's first passenger drone. This is the eHang 184 from a Chinese company that has 8 propellers with automated flight from point A to B. I was actually thinking that someday we'll see drones replacing helicopters and airplanes, and this is probably the tip of the iceberg. In 10 years, I believe many of us will be traveling in drones, not cars. As an avid drone owner, it was fine to see a life-size version for humans that actually works right now. There were a lot of other drone companies showing off drones, and besides the eHang 184 human drone, what got my attention was the Nanodrone from OnagoFly. Weighing at just 140 grams, this is a Nanodrone, also comes with a 15 megapixel 1080p camera, GPS navigation, obstacle avoidance, follow mode, and even supports VR and FPV mode, so you can see in real time what the drone is doing in flight. You can actually pre-order this little bad boy on Indiegogo for just $199. Why I love my Phantom 2 drone, it's not great for taking with me while I travel. With this nano drone, I'll be able to do pretty much everything in much smaller package. Speaking of Samsung had an excellent display of 22 4K TVs that were moving and made up an 88K TV altogether. This was probably one of the dopest TV setups I have ever seen in my life. It's probably not practical, but then again, 9 out of 10 things at CES are cool to look at, but never make it to the market. Samsung also had a new SmartBelt they're working on called the Samsung Welt, dubbed Wellness Belt. The SmartBelt is actually really cool as you can adjust the belt's tension with your smartphone and even tracks your steps, how much you eat, and even senses if you overate as the belt has a sensor to measure your belly. Yeah. Not sure if this belt will make it out to the market, but it definitely stood out as something that should. I hate adjusting my belt, and this smart belt will allow me to adjust it any way I want with my phone. Next, suitable text beam was an interesting concept. Using a contraption that looks like a vacuum robot with a big LCD strapped on top of it, it's actually a video conferencing robot that users can control to interact with the world. For example, if your kid broke his legs and cannot walk for 2 weeks, he can still attend school using Beam without ever stepping out of bed and interact with others. Alright, let's talk about 360 cameras at CES. I have the Kodak SP360, and Kodak just announced the SP360 4K a couple months ago. I went by their booth briefly. Now it only has one lens, so it's really a 180-degree camera. But I stopped by Nikon and they had a full 360-degree 4K action camera called KeyMisson360. It has 2 lenses unlike the Kodak 4K and gives you 360-degree view in 4K. This is probably the best 4K 360-degree camera out right now that comes in such a small form factor. I'll definitely grab one of these to show you when it's out on the market. Genworth, an insurance company, had an interesting robot called R70i that allows you to experience being old. I initially thought this was a robot designed to help disabled old people to walk, but it actually does the complete opposite. Makes you old and disables you from walking normally, seeing normally, and experience all the things of getting old. If you ever want to feel why your grandpa or grandma has back pains while walking to the kitchen, you'll definitely have to try this one out at the next CES. Talking about TVs, I actually did not see that many 8K TVs this year, but LG had their 98-inch 8K TV, which was probably the best TV I have seen at the show. This is the largest 8K TV in the world, and you probably won't be able to buy one for another few years, but seeing it in person made me warm inside. Okay, don't get jealous, just go to CES next year. I'll hook you up with tickets. CES isn't isn't typically a good show for Android in general, but this year Huawei launched their Huawei Mate 8 and 5X officially to the US at CES 2016. Huawei's Mate 8 with Gear-in processor scores above current Speed King Note 5 at around 90,000 on Antutu. Currently, this is the fastest smartphone on the market right now. I did receive both of them for review from Huawei thanks to Taylor and Samantha, and I wanted to wait until I was ready to do unboxing for you guys. I should have that shortly next week, so watch out for that coming soon. Okay, probably the coolest, dopest Android smartphone I saw at the show was the LeTV Max Pro. Sort of sounds like my name, which is the world's first smartphone with Qualcomm Snapdragon 820. This phone comes with Marshmallow Android 6.0, fingerprint sensor, and a design that's awfully similar to the Huawei Nexus 6P and Mate 8. I'm actually really impressed that they were able to bring this to the show, and the Snapdragon 820 Antutu benchmark scored above 130,000. which kills everything else out on the market. Of course, this isn't on the market yet, and Samsung's Galaxy S7 and LG G5 both will probably have the Snapdragon 820, but being able to play with the phone got me super high on Android. Sennheiser also had their $50,000 Orpheus headphones, which I got to try out. I was so excited to try these headphones, and if you ask me if they're worth it, I will tell you that they're worth every penny. Even at super loud settings, the Orpheus headphones reproduce sound without distortion, and at low volume you can hear even the minute separation of sound. If you want to see the full demo we took, check out the link to our live stream in the description. Now that wraps up my top 10 best of CES, and I didn't do it in any particular order. I only picked the top 10 best things I saw at CES. If you want to see every single thing I saw at CES this year, don't forget to check out my replays of my CES livestream coverage, as I have live streamed everything I saw. Lastly but not least, I hung around some of the most interesting people at CES, including Team Schofield, Dan, Kevin the Tech Ninja, Jeff Springer, Danny Winget, Armando Ferreira, Carlos, Alberto from Cooloser Tech, Rob who helped me out during my live stream with my rig, Rivers from Tech Connect, Darcy the founder of Android Authority, Ash, Josh and everyone from Android Authority, Chris Chavez and Rob Jackson, founder of Fandroid, MKBHD, Austin, Jonathan from TLD Today, Lou from Unbox Therapy, Peter, and if I didn't mention your name, we didn't say goodbye, so I will see you all next year. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me if you enjoyed this video, and as always, stay on Android.